Once upon tomorrow. Just as quickly as the jackal had caught the queen's attention wandered once more. Her smile flickered, her head turned, and her stance straightened. As though voices on the wind whispered to her, she cocked her ear to listen. Then her feet carried her in a proud stride down the street, as if she were beckoned by a song unsung, by mouths unseen. As she strode, the spreading sea of green relentlessly rose. Trees pushed through the street, their rapid roots tilling the concrete and asphalt like soil. Vines and moss and more crawled up the city's walls. Of course, such activity could not long go unnoticed by the men, the women, or the children of the broken city. As little as they liked to think, this was certainly a moment that called for thought. It was the rising tide of voices, a growing chorus of confusion, that first pulled Little Jackal's focus from the Green Queen. She couldn't remember for sure how long she had been in the broken city, but the voices she heard belonged to people whose scents had grown familiar to her. They were neighbors, they were friends, they were laughing mouths, feeding hands, scratches behind the ear, and scraps from plates already bare. While there were some whose smells she'd learned to fear, there were many more still for whom she'd come to care. Little Jackal hadn't loved the city, but she had liked it. There was more to it than the drab greys that met the eye's first glance. There was heart, hearth, and home. There was love, there was light, and there was a life. At least such could be in a broken city. But in the wake of the queen, nothing was left but a deep scar of green where once the people's shanty shelters had been. And as she strode, the grass it rose, the roots and vines they spread. Brick was broke, fires choked, and the murmur of voices murmured only with dread. The Emerald Queen, a corona of green, may not even have known what she'd done, but as young grass rustled and old buildings buckled, the broken people began to run. They clambered from windows and down cracking walls. They scooted round roots and through holes in the floors. They bit back their tears while fear drove them on. They flooded the streets, merging as one. Soon, the jackal joined in on the panic. Dashing to and fro and running back and forth, she yipped at the people, she nipped at their sleeves. She tugged tiny toddlers from graves made of leaves. What had been a dream so serene and cast in an emerald sheen had become a nightmare, a horror, a show for the doomed. The queen herself was out of sight, having wandered deeper into the broken city, but her glow shone like an emerald sunrise, a threat of things to come.